Good morning. My name is LeeAnne and I am here to give you a quick tutorial on CIS Leads, the local project lead service based here in New Jersey for the last 32 years. So for today's purposes, I'm gearing this demo to HVAC contractors in the South Jersey, Eastern PA, Delaware market. Today is really meant to just be a very quick, brief overview of our service. If you think it might be interesting to take a look at us, I'd be happy to do a free demo with you, specifically targeted to your company where I can show you all the jobs. Today, we're just going to give a brief synopsis, so you're not going to be able to see all the projects, but hopefully you might catch one or two that could be interesting to you while we're on today. But I just want to give you a brief overview so I'm not wasting too much time. And then again, when you do want to take a look, please reach out to me directly. My phone number and email are here, as well as the emails that I've sent. And just let me know and I can cater the demo to you. Okay, so for our purposes here, just to give you some feedback on CIS. So we're a local lead service, like I said, based here in New Jersey for 32 years, started by a civil engineer who was really frustrated by the information that was available nationally. Like there's no great coverage locally. Missing mandatory pre-bids, not knowing private jobs at all until they drove by and saw a site cleared, next day bid results, things like that, detailed on information, timely accuracy, and detailed information. So that's kind of why this company was started. He is our CEO and Chris is our president, his daughter. Nice family, local owned company for 32 years. So what I'm going to do, again, walk you through the home page of our website and kind of then dig into some of the HVAC projects specifically in South Jersey. So my desktop is your home screen. No matter where you're in the website, you can click this button to bring you back, as these buttons will stay static. Under here, we have some reports we start everybody with. And then I've created some customized ones specifically for HVAC project reports. This section over here is a quick search. So think of this as Google on our website. You're trying to find one thing quickly, whether it's a project, a contractor, a sub, a material supplier, equipment dealer, architect, engineer, or owner, private or public owner, whether it's CVS Pharmacy, Bob's Liquor Store, or the Township of Medford, doesn't matter. Then these are what I call your tracking buckets. So any contractors you want to track, any projects you want to track, these will be very important as we go through, which I'll cover in just a minute. But before we get started, I'd like to come over here and start with our actually daily report. So this is 1 day's worth of information. Again, we're looking at the territory of South Jersey, Eastern PA, and Delaware for our purposes of right now. And this report is just today, Wednesday's information under new buildings, additions, specialty rehab. So there's 5 tabs at the top. Pre-planning, planning, and negotiated out of these tabs are 95% of the time where you're going to find your private owned projects. These are commercial projects that are 5,000 square foot and greater, all new construction, again, 5,000 square foot and greater, and residential 10 dwelling units or more. And that could be single family or multi-dwelling, doesn't matter. As long as there's 10 separate units, we'll have it on here. So I'm going to give you an example of each one of these, and we're going to go to the targeted reports I created. So pre-planning is the earliest stage. Conceptual, sketch plan, zoning, fundraising, super, super early. So for our purposes, we're just going to click on this one in Vineland. So this one was published today, brand new. And I always say for private work, I would go to the description first to see if you like the job instead of wasting a lot of time reading it. So this is construction of a 3-story, 48-unit apartment building. If that's a good job, move on to the planning notes. So it's letting us know that the application for use variance will be reviewed by the Vineland Township Zoning Board on 8/16. This is some of the it's a new construction of a new building. So it has every, like electric, HVAC, plumbing, landscaping, roof, you know, all things. These are just showing some additional words that are included. Developers listed, attorney, location. I'm a big fan of working smarter instead of harder. So if you already know Vineland Construction and you want to kind of follow up with this company, this is their company profile page and you have a contact name here. You can see not only this job in pre-planning that we just looked at, but I can also come in here and see they have another warehouse and office in Lawnside in the planning stage. In the negotiated stage, I can see they have a couple of jobs that are currently in progress in West Windsor and Cherry Hill. They have a completed one in Vineland, and they also have another one hasn't started yet in Lawnside. So that can kind of give you some additional information and decide if you want to hit this button here, it's going to track that company, which we kind of talked about on the home page. over here. So now that I track them, they're stuck over here. So I'm going to go back to this daily report. So I give you an example of pre-planning. Now, planning is the final approval before the planning board. No GC has been awarded in pre-planning or planning. They're still looking at it at these stages. So I'm going to go to this Rowan University Veterinary School, which, you know, most people care about the colleges. So I thought that might be a good one to click on. So this gives you the description. This project has been out there since February of 2022. So this is the description of the project right here. So you can see it's a new veterinary medical complex with classrooms, laboratories, and a bunch of other things. You can see the original note from when we started tracking this back in 21 up to today. So they have a target date as yet to be determined. They had their groundbreaking ceremony in April of this year. Design firm, owner, location, and where the project's going, and the cost estimate that they've given us. You can track this job, throw it in your tracking bucket. You can also add yourself as interested, which is what these companies have done here. And what that does, it leads you to their company profile page. So you can see, you know, if you're looking for subs, you can kind of get a little more information about this company. And if you're looking to be found as a sub, this is a good example because they've got pictures in here. They have contact names with emails. I have a nice bit of information about what this company does. So that's why it's good to add yourself over there. Now, the last tab of private work is negotiated. So negotiated means a general contractor has been awarded, but it could be in any phase of construction. So this one's letting us know, which one do we want to click on, do you think? Let's look at this one at the top. Again, these are all in progress. GCs are awarded in any phase of construction. Let's see, my computer wants to work really slow right now. Okay, so on here, I'll see developer, I see contractor, design firm. Again, the description is listed down here of everything happening in this project. And again, this has multi-phase project. That's why there's so many notes. But if you started looking at this for the first time, you can kind of quickly do a quick read and see when each part of the phase of construction started with site work and, you know, whatever the case may be. And then you have a click through to any of these companies, and a lot of companies have added themselves as interested on this project. Now, out to bid. These were the 3 outer tabs are private work. The 2 inner tabs are public-owned projects. So these are listed as the brand new projects in South Jersey, Eastern PA, and Delaware under new buildings addition specialty rehab. So it's kind of all the trades. That's why you're seeing an elevator, you know, some other things, roof in here, because it's all kind of interior trades, which can be modified. So you can just look at HVAC if you'd like to do that. I'm going to scroll down to the bottom and I can see that we have a rooftop HVAC unit. So for this is anybody who likes to bid prime HVAC projects in South Jersey, this might be a good one for you. So you can click on it. And this is kind of how public jobs look when they first come out for bid. So published today, bid due date, time, cost estimate if released will be at the top. Location, owner, document information. Now, if it has a mandatory pre-bid, which this one does, this is kind of how it's going to look. Any requirements set aside, very typical of how they'll look on the first day. Now, the owner is not releasing plan holders on this project, but this company has already added themselves. So at any point, you see that there's an add myself as a plan holder button that you can add yourself on if you're bidding as a prime for sub purposes, for subs to see your bidding. And the GCs will do that as well. So that's kind of how it looks when they are brand new projects. Oops. Now, you see a change from new to update. So these, on a daily basis, you would only look to the new stuff. The updates, as long as you track them, you don't need to actually look at this on a daily basis. But for our purposes of right now, we're going to click on this one. So this is a project in Delaware, the Forensic Science Building. So this is just to give you an idea how they look. So this is the description of the project. You can see all the work that's going on within this project. And then you can also see the contractors who have picked up plans who are intending to bid on this project. So if you wanted to bid sub, you can see who the GCs are who have this project. The last tab over here is bid results. So these are projects that bid yesterday, and we have the bid results here today. So low bidder's name is here, price is over here. Like for this one's down in South Jersey, so share some people care about this project. So Joseph Peretta was the low bidder. So if I come down, scroll to it, I can see what their number was. J.H. Williams also bid, and so did Levy Construction. And I can see all of everyone's bid numbers on here. And if you're like, hey, I bid to Levy, I want to see what else he has going on, you can click on the company, no matter who it is. If they're bidding as a prime contractor, you can see a bid history about them. It'll go back for 3 years. And you can track this company, have contact information. You can also see what other plans they're holding. So they're holding this plans for this project in Seagirt, which you again can click on and kind of see any more information if you're not familiar with this job. And you can see who else is holding plans aside from Levy on this project. You can also see their bidding history over a 3-year period. So these are their low bids, most recently this one in Oakland on the 3rd. And other bids or projects they were not the low bidder, such as this one we just looked at right here. But you can see they bid a heck of a lot of projects, and they do a really good job bidding them. All right, so that is 1 day's worth of information on the daily report. In and out, 5 minutes a day. I spend a little extra time on it, but it's really 5 minutes a day is what you'll use our service for and not miss anything. Under it is new and updated since my last view. Index report is basically your filing cabinet for public work, all listed in bid due date order, starting with the stuff bidding today. So what I did is I took the liberty of making a couple starter reports. So this is generally how I like to start my clients off, separating public and private work for the first time, just to make sure you're not missing any projects. So maybe 20 minutes the first time you use it to get caught up and make sure you're not missing a job. After that, it should take you 5 minutes a day looking at the daily report. So this one is for private work, which I started first. So private work. Sorry, my computer's a little bit slow today. All right, so there's pre-planning has 20, planning has 63, and negotiated has 47. So again, negotiated means the GC has it in any phase of construction. So you can check on these. They're kind of seeing their target dates that are getting ready to happen, like this Wardstead one in Atlantic City, where they're building the wind turbines, which, you know, everyone's a little bit upset about. You can kind of click here and see what exactly is happening on this project. You can come over here and kind of see the detail of what's going on. It looks like there's a protest going on and some other things happening. If you watch the news, no surprise there. Now, pre-planning, again, these are the earliest conceptual ones. You can see there's one in Deptford, Lennar Homes, there's a boutique hotel in Hopewell. Lakewood has some duplexes. Lawrence has some commercial, like mixed use, it looks like. Stockton has something, Atlantic City. We can take a look at. Everyone, again, cares about the schools for the most part. So this looks like this phase 1 job is completed. There's a link to phase 1 or phase 2 rather. So this is construction of 300,000 to 500,000 mixed use building. It's letting you know they just received 42.2 million in annual state funding put towards the project. Owner, developer, location, again, track it if you're interested and kind of go from there. But pre-planning, again, is the earliest conceptual stage. Self-storage buildings in Mantua. Oceanport has the Netflix studio. A lot of people care about that. To see what's, even if you're not involved, to see what's happening with it. So you can kind of scroll through and see those jobs. There's also, I noticed, I was looking at this earlier, there's a lot of, do you care about the cannabis facilities? There's one in Ewing. There's a warehouse in Hamilton, another warehouse. There's a few of these, another warehouse. A few of these, Shake Shack. Who doesn't love a Shake Shack, right? A new Subaru dealership, but there's actually several. Here's another cannabis facility. So again, you can take a look at these projects and see exactly what's happening, what's going on with these projects. And HVAC is definitely going to be a big part of that, right? So that's to go over some of the private work. Now the public work is listed right here. So what I did with this report for public work, just to kind of show you, is we created a customized report here. And I added your custom keywords. I just did the counties that are in South Jersey, building trades, and public work, just to kind of do a backtrack. Now, on here, I can see there's 54 projects that are currently out for bid that have my words. These are the projects that are starting with today's bid date So if you did it, or the earliest bid date rather, well, actually, hold on, let me put that on the right amount of pages. I'm going to throw everything on one page to make it easier. So these are the ones starting with today's bid date, which I was trying to say. So if these might be like there's an HVAC upgrades in Cape May. So if you don't know about these, it might be better to start at the very bottom. So you're not getting irritated right now because you're like, oh my God, that boiler repair, HVAC repair on call. I didn't know, you know. So we're just going to scroll to the bottom here. And then you can kind of see that's that rooftop unit we talked about earlier. There's Lindenwold Early Childhood Center. So this is going to be a GC bid that HVAC would bid sub to. But you can kind of see it's bidding on 919, $39 million. Pre-bid is on the 21st, but it wasn't mandatory. You're highlighted your word in here, and then you're also going to see the people who have picked up plans. So if you want to bid sub, you can see these companies are already holding plans on this project. Again, track it, add yourself as interested. So that's more of a sub section, where this is more of a prime bid at Glassboro, or Rowan rather. I'm showing my age saying Glassboro. Anyway, so this would be a prime bid. Again, you can track the project. It's bidding on 9/7 through Rowan University, New Jersey purchasing. So that is that section. So again, you can kind of comb through these projects and take a look. You can also look at the most recent bid results that have had your word. So if you did bid sub and you're wondering who got this bid, you can click on it to see who, you know, what bids just recently happened, low bidder's name here, prices here, but you can kind of scroll through and see if you needed a certain bid result you wanted to look at. So that is that section. So these are your starter reports. Initially, you take these, take all your projects out, so they're tracked here, and then you delete them. Then you just use the daily report 5 minutes a day, good to go. So this section for tracking. So this is tracking contractors. So I'm tracking a total of 9 companies in alphabetical order, but I can see this company has picked up a set of plans. So I'm like, what did they just pick up plans on? I can go to their holding plans tab and see they picked up one of these sets of plans. So if I bid to A&E Construction, I want to know what they're doing. Once I come back to my desktop, it's now cleared out that I have 4 updates instead of 3. Now, A&E is still on there, but there's no new update. So if I go in here, I can see it's cleared out because I looked at it. I can also put notes in here if I like to do that, somebody's contact information, so it's handy. You can also track the projects. So I'm tracking 17 projects. These top ones, 5 have been updated in some fashion. See, some of these are private works with updates. Some of them are out to bid. Most likely someone's picked up a set of plans, cost estimate, addendum. Anything can cause an update. So you can take a look at those as well. So this is very important to use on our site, to track competitors, track GCs you bid to, and track the actual jobs you care about. Now, last thing rounding out here is our search bar. I have like 2 more minutes to keep on my 20-minute mark. So you can search by region. So if you want to search for a project that has like the word pine in it, it's going to pull anything from pine. The more I start typing, the more it's going to shrink what I'm looking for. So if I just want to find a quick project, I can do that. I can also come in here as a GC and I can say, hey, I need an HVAC contractor and I need to look for one in South Jersey. So it'll populate here and it's going to give me a list of 584 companies who will do HVAC, as well as if you need your own sub, plumbing, roofing, whatever equipment, you can do that as well. You can also filter them by, you know, WBE status, MBE, whatever you want to do that by, years in business, bonded, union, non-union is important for a lot of people, and refine your search and get a match score so that you're not looking at that many people at one time. And then there's also sponsorship opportunities. If you are interested, it's a very smart thing to do because you saw there's 500 companies, right? If you begin with even letter C, you're on page 4, you know. So you can sponsor your category. This is paving, just to kind of show you it's pretty full with sponsorships in here. But before you get to the list of 248 companies, these companies are at the top sponsoring it. Very, very minimal investment to do that. So it's like almost laughable, but it's very, very, what's the word I'm looking for? Very important to do because you're showing your company in front of, you know, they're busy. No one has time to kind of, you know, search through the directory so much. So you literally just showing up at the top with whatever kind of ad you want to put up here. And then you can also search for suppliers and owners and things like that. So just rounding back out, there's also a section on our site last year, sub request section, where people will post requests if they're looking for subs, and you can click on the project and find out what it is they're looking for, the more detail on there. And there's also a classifieds buy, sell, trade. We host this section. We don't provide information, but if you have things to buy or sell or trade to other contractors, you can do that as well. So last but not least, on every project, there is a contact CIS button, which leads me to our customer service to wrap up. Our customer service will ruin you for the rest of your life for customer service because they're fantastic at their jobs. You can ask a question about a job, literally fill this out, send an email, they'll jump on it right away, have our reporter start digging up more information for you and get back to you with either the answer or the next step to the answer. They're really wonderful at helping create reports, do things. We also have video tutorials and a lot of other things to help people. But to round this off with, I am 1 minute over. Very proud of myself, I kept to it. Okay, just to recap, local, family owned, literally reporters on the street, hunting it down, ridiculous customer service, and lots of training and help. But as you can see, the biggest thing about our service at all is it is incredibly easy to use. No one has time to make reports and do all these things every day. You're literally going through starter reports to look at everything and track it. After that, you look at the daily report, 5 minutes a day. 5 minutes a day, and you will know everything happening, and you'll have local contact people who know the towns you're talking about, and I think it'll be really helpful. But if you would like to do a catered report, I'm happy to do a demo for your company. We've been very specific as to what projects. We look at all of the jobs, not a brief summary like I just did. So feel free to give me a call. My number and email are up here, and I'd be happy to meet with you. Have a great day, and thank you for joining me for this webinar on CIS. Bye-bye.